Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Vespid models. So it's a T-90 Russian main battle tank in 1/72 scale, so it's not such a huge kit, but nevertheless it should turn into quite detailed model. And some of you were actually asking to review the set from this brand, so that's why I decided to take a closer look and also check it together with you and decide whether this model is definitely worth attention or not. So first of all, I have to know the box size. I would say it's quite small. Here you can see comparison with my hand. We have nice box art here. The kit number is VS720025. It's written here, and of course we also have the manufacturer logo here. Then on the side you'll find the 3D images of the assembled model, and on the opposite side you can see another look at the 3D model and also the small pictures of the PE thread, the decals sheet, and I can see there are 3D printed parts as well. So this is a top opening box. Let's just take it off. Just give me a moment. It's a bit tricky thing to do because of the tight fitment of the top lid. And here you can see what we have. So on the top, obviously, we have the assembly manual, then we have the plastic sprues which are packed into separate plastic bags, and then there are some bonuses. We will start with the plastic parts, and then we will gradually move on to the assembly manual and other things. So I'm opening the first plastic bag. It's a resealable plastic bag, which is good because it will be quick to open. And here we have the pair of the sprues with the letter C. So I will just open the lenses a bit and zoom in. So here you can see that we have the sprue with the drivetrain, also with the track parts. The road wheels are actually quite nice looking, so if I zoom in and maybe I can pick them up so that you can check them closer, and camera will just take a moment to focus. But now you can see that these road wheels are looking quite nice, so it's just a matter of painting them properly because these rubber bandages obviously should be masked. And here we also have the track, so track lengths, as you can see, they are pre-shaped, and also we have quite nice external features. If we flip them over, here on the opposite side there are not that many features, I would say, but that's the same as on the real vehicle as far as I remember, so it's not different from the actual subject. And by the way, here you can see that inside the road wheels we have the guiding pins, which will help you with alignment of those road wheels together, and this is a really useful feature because otherwise it will be a bit tricky to get them together. Next, we have the turret, which is packed into a separate plastic bag, and I will open it right now so that I can show you what I actually have here. So turret is interesting because, as you can see, it is molded as a single piece part. Of course we will have to add plenty of extra things on the top, and of course the hatches here are molded separately, but otherwise it looks quite nice. And here inside there are not that many features because after all this is not an interior kit, and that's why we don't have anything inside this tank. But that's okay, I guess, for this scale. Next we continue with another plastic sprue. So here we have the pair of the plastic frames, so I'm going to open them right now and we will take a look together. So first of all, it's a sprue D, and it looks like this. So here we have the hull panels as well as the side skirts, and everything is molded as the, let's say, single piece parts. So it means you just need to attach them to the main hull, but otherwise the features which we see pre-molded on those parts, they look really good. And if I flip over this sprue here, you can see that we have some guiding elements. We also have some pin marks, but it's easy to cut through, and I don't think it will be such a huge issue in this scale. Next we continue with another plastic sprue. So this one is the sprue E. Here we have the log which will be installed on the rear section. We have some mud guards. We have the front mud guards which are molded as a separate one-piece parts, which is really cool in this scale. And also we have some parts for the turret. For those mud guards, I think it's worth zooming in and also picking them up so that you can see what I'm talking about and why I'm saying they're quite nice. As you can see, a lot of things are actually pre-molded, so you just need to install them together with the side shelves and you don't have to do anything extra. And such design should be actually easier to work with. Next, I'm opening one more small plastic bag, because this one is dedicated to the lower hull section. And here you can notice that this one is also coming as a one-piece tab. So we have the side panel, floor panel, and another side panel pre-molded into one element. And here the rear armor wall is molded separately. But again, inside you won't find a lot of things. Suspension arms should be installed separately. And as you can see, there are no guiding elements. At least I do not see any special position tabs. So you have to be careful while installing all of this stuff together. There were also mentioned the 3D printed parts. So they are coming in the separate Ziploc bag. And we have here mainly the parts for the turret. So as you can see, they're molded or printed in this light orange color. We have the gun mounted cover. We also have some parts for the turret, for the headlamps, and everything looks quite fine. As you can see, the supports are thin enough. But of course, it's better to be careful while separating all these things, because again, you can notice the size. So these are 1/72 scale parts after all, so that's why it's better to pay attention how they are coming off. Next, I'm opening another pair of identical plastic sprues. So I'll just take out only one, because here... No, actually I will have to take out both, because one main sprue is the same, but there is also connection with another one, which you will see here. So it's a sprue A and B. So sprue B is supplied in two pieces, this one, and this one is connected only to the one which you are seeing now. So here we have the road wheels, or more of the idlers and drive sprockets. We also have some parts for the external features, the fuel tank, for example. Here we have self-entrenching device. We have some parts for the top hull section. And I'm just looking that here we have the spare tracks actually pre-molded with the panel, which is rather interesting design. Maybe it will be a easier thing to assemble this way, but of course it's a matter of your preference whether you prefer such design. And you might have noticed that the towing cable loops, they were molded separately, so probably you'll have to combine them with your own metal wire. I'm opening the last gray plastic sprue. So here we have the top hull section, and I will show it in a second. I'm just checking what we actually get here. So as you can see, the top hull section with the separate panel, so a lot of features will have to be added as a separate parts. We also have the main barrel here. We have some minor things which will be added on the top of the hull, but overall it looks really nice. So if I zoom in closer, you can see the level of the quality here. Maybe the main barrel, of course, it would be better to have it as the metal part. So in case you have some extra money to spend, definitely go for the metal barrel replacement, because metal part looks a bit more convincing in this case. And even in 1/72 scale, it should be a better choice. Next, I'm opening another plastic bag. This one is dedicated to the P fret and also the decals. So let's move this sprue aside and zoom in. So here you can see unpainted P fret, and this unpainted P fret will be handy for a lot of external features, mainly meshes and various railings on the tank, but still it's a lot of work to do, so do not underestimate it. It's definitely something for the experienced modelers, I would say. Next we continue with the decals. So for the decals, I can see that there is no mention where they are printed in, so just give me a moment to focus the camera. Now you should be able to see what I'm talking about here. So these are mainly white symbols, numbers and digits. So you will have to apply it on the tank. And we also have some metal wire. And to be honest, I'm not sure how it will be used. Probably for the towing cable or maybe for some antennas. But as you can see, this is a really nice quality metal wire in a silver cover. So it should come handy. But in order to understand how all these things will be getting together, we have the assembly manual, of course. So here I will just close the lenses a bit, maybe zoom out. Okay, and start with this assembly manual. So first of all, here we have some safety advices, no history notes, unfortunately. And next we have the parts map. So as far as you can see, they do not show unused parts unless we have to use all of the elements. Assembly process starts with the lower hull section. You also install the various suspension arms as well as the road wheels and drive sprocket. So as you can see here, all of these things are going in. Then we join the top fuselage or the hull section, and then we continue with the self-entrenching device. We have the idlers being installed in place, and note that each one is assembled out of 3 parts. Here we continue with the tracks, then we install the separate shelves or side skirts. Then we have the frontal glacis plate, which is molded separately. The same applies to this engine compartment, where we have the meshes replicated with PE parts. Then we have the plastic front mud guards, which were as one piece, as you remember. Then we continue with more parts being installed on the side skirts, and again the meshes here. And then we have here the fuel tanks, the rear lock. That's the main barrel going onto the turret, combined together with the 3D printed part. Again, some PE parts being used on the turret. Of course, the external armor is being applied as the separate parts. And that's quite a process. Several pages are actually dedicated to the assembly of the turret only, so be ready for this. And here you can see some final steps. So there are also options for the open and closed hatches on the turret, which is quite useful. Then we have the first marking option here. That's the traditional green colored tank, and another one is in the camouflage. But of course, nobody stops you from choosing something different, because there are plenty of reference material available, so definitely you'll find something useful. And as for this kit, it should be already available, so in case you would like to get it, just go to any good model shop and they should have it. And of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion, so do not forget to write it here in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.